Have you ever wondered how your net worth compares to everyone else in the US? You might think you're doing okay until you see the real numbers. Because when you actually look at the census data and Federal Reserve data, most people are way off. I spent 3 years as a corporate accountant with a degree in accounting, and today I'm breaking down the real net worth ranges that define the lower class, middle class, and upper class in America using the exact numbers the Federal Reserve uses. And trust me, some of these are going to surprise you, especially when you see where you actually fall on the chart. Before we rank each class, we need to talk about why net worth even matters. A lot of people focus only on income, but income alone can be very misleading. You can have a very high income and still feel broke if you're spending way too much, not investing, and constantly upgrading your lifestyle. And that's lifestyle inflation. And it's why so many six-figure earners have nothing to show for it. Susie Orman said it best. It's not about what you make, it's what you keep. So net worth shows how well you keep and grow your money over time. It's not about how much you earn. So what is net worth? Net worth is simply everything you own: your home, your car, stocks, retirement accounts, cash, minus everything that you owe, like your mortgage, credit card debt, and student loans. So let me give you a quick example. Debbie owns a house worth $500,000, and she has $100,000 in retirement accounts, $10,000 in stocks, and $20,000 in cash. So her total assets is worth $630,000, but she still owes $300,000 on her mortgage and $15,000 in student loans. So her total liabilities is $315,000. Now we subtract $630,000 in assets minus $315,000 in liabilities, giving her a total net worth of $315,000. This puts Debbie right in the middle class net worth range in the US. And this is why net worth matters. It shows where you actually stand, not what your income makes you feel like you stand. So now that we know what net worth is, let's find out where you stand. Economists split Americans into 5 equal groups. Imagine lining everyone up from the poorest to the richest, and then cutting that line into 5 sections. Each section is a wealth class. Now let's walk through those 5 wealth classes. This will help you see exactly where you stand, and if you stick to the end, I'll share a few simple habits that can help you move up to the next class. And as we walk through these classes, I'm working on leveling up myself. My next goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you find this valuable, it will mean a lot if you hit the subscribe button. Let's grow together. Let's start with the lower class. The bottom 20% of Americans by net worth. According to the latest census data, the median net worth in this group is only $6,030. This is what the economist typically classifies as a poverty class. Most households in this group have very few assets and often have way more debt than their savings, which is why their net worth ends up so low. Household incomes in this group usually fall between $25,000 and $35,000 per year. People in this category often live paycheck to paycheck, and they struggle with debt, and they have a hard time getting ahead, especially with the cost of living today. People in this group might be working minimum wage jobs, or they might be earning slightly above that, and a few of them might not even finish high school. If you're in this group, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Most people start here. Now let's move into the first stage of middle class and see what changes. Next is the lower middle class, the 20th to 40th percentile of Americans by net worth. According to the latest census data, the median net worth in this group is $43,760, and this is where the middle class technically begins, even though incomes here are still way below national median. Household incomes in this group average around $48,500 per year, which is lower than the US median household income of $70,784. So this group is mostly made of new graduates, blue-collar workers like factory workers or tradesmen. And these households are working steady but modest income jobs. People in these groups have these aspirations, usually like owning a house, owning a car, sending their kids to college, having a retirement saving, and taking a family vacation. What's really cool is that in this stage, you start to see people having discretionary income, but not quite enough to be comfortable yet. And that's why you often see bigger car payments, lifestyle purchases, low saving rates, and not much investing in this class. So to move up from this group, only 2 things you can do to help you. You have to increase your income and you have to save more. Now let's move into the next class. And this is what it called the true middle class. This group includes Americans in the 40th to 60th percentile of net worth. You are literally smack dab in the middle of the entire wealth distribution. According to the latest data, the median net worth in this group is $104,700. And the median household income lines up almost exactly with the US average, around $71,000 a year. So people in this class are usually a mix of specialized blue-collar workers or the beginning stage of a white-collar job. So think like nurses, truck drivers, office managers, and sales reps, etc. So nothing flashy, they're just steady, reliable jobs that are the backbone of this country. Now, having a 6-figure net worth is nothing to sneeze at. It's actually a big milestone. Most people that reach this level get here because they consistently save and they invest a portion of their income. They're usually a little older, usually like late 30s or early 40s. So if you're younger and you're wondering, why am I not at 100,000 net worth yet? In many cases, it's simply because you haven't been in the game long enough. For many people in the true middle class, life starts to look different than at the bottom. So people in this group, they're often homeowners or they're working toward it. Sometimes they even own 1 or even 2 cars. And they can start thinking about retirement savings, and families can start thinking long-term, like the kids' education or emergency funds. Discretionary income starts to increase, so you can start enjoying comforts like family trips, occasionally dining out, modest vacations, and even home and car upgrades. So you're going to start seeing more wants or being fulfilled, which is very cool. So there's enough breathing room to plan ahead while still living a grounded, stable life. Now let's move into the upper middle class. Americans are roughly in the 60th to 80th percentile of net worth. According to the latest data, the median net worth in this group is around $201,800, and the household incomes typically falls between $100,000 to $150,000 a year. But here's what's important. You don't always need a 6-figure income to land in this group. A lot of people reach the upper middle class simply by being older, you're saving consistently, and letting compounding growth to do the work. By age 55, the median net worth jumps to around $230,000, even for people who has never earned $150,000 a year. So what does this group actually look like? This class is usually made up of high-skilled professionals and people with advanced degrees and specialized training. Think like engineers, accountants, architects, IT specialists, psychologists, and mid to senior level corporate roles. So income is definitely higher here, but the values they shift to. People in the middle upper class usually place a strong emphasis on better education for the kids, foreign travel, and upgrading their quality of life. So majority of people in this class, they still work a 9-to-5 job, and many are homeowners with multiple assets like retirement accounts and real estate. Now, just because someone earns a 6-figure income doesn't mean everything is easy. In fact, almost half of the households making over $100,000 a year still report living paycheck to paycheck. So higher income doesn't mean financial freedom. It still comes down to how well you manage your money. The upper middle class is where you start to see people being way more comfortable but not rich. They have their needs covered and many of their wants covered, and they're actively building long-term wealth, but they still need to budget, plan, and stay disciplined. Now, before we jump into the upper class, let's talk about something important: how people can actually move from one wealth class to the next. Moving up usually comes down to having good financial habits. Across every class, the people who climb the fastest do these 3 things well. 1, by increasing your income. So this might mean asking for a raise or jumping to a better industry or just getting a certification that makes you way more valuable. 2, saving a bigger percentage of what you earn. And this is what really separates people. 2 people earning the same amount can end up completely different classes just based on how much they actually keep. Number 3, investing consistently. And this is what actually pushes people up the ladder. You don't need a huge salary, you just need time and consistency. So as we go into the upper class, keep these levers in mind, because no matter where you're starting from, these are the exact habits that help people rise over time. Now let's move into the upper class, the top 20% of Americans by net worth. According to the latest data, the median net worth in this group is around $608,900. So if you're at or above that number, you're officially in the upper class of US wealth distribution. Household incomes in this group typically lands in the six figures, often around $187,000. So what does this group actually look like? A large number of upper class households, they live in the biggest cities in the US. Think New York, Seattle, San Francisco, Boston, places where salaries are way higher, but also cost of living. So the upper class includes fields like specialized doctors, dentists, senior levels in finance, or maybe even a marketing manager. What's really cool is that most people can actually get into the upper 20% just by having good financial habits, by saving and investing aggressively. In the upper class, most people have both their needs and their wants fully covered. At this level, money is less about surviving and more about building a passive income or building a comfortable retirement accounts and funding their children's education for the future. But here's the key takeaway. You don't need to make it $300,000 a year to reach the upper class. Even saving and investing something like $200 a month consistently in your 20s can get you into this group over time. It's not about how much you make, it's about how well you manage and grow what you keep. So reaching the upper class means you build real financial breathing room. Your money starts working for you and not the other way around. I hope this video helps shed some light on different classes in the US. Were you surprised by these numbers? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to build habits to get you to the next class, click here to watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.